magic, and you.
Every monster that appeared in new Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves trailer. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Terry and this is Marvelous Videos. There is a very small chance that you haven't heard of the role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons, even if you haven't played it yet. This game has often been referred to in pop culture shows like The Big Bang Theory, Stranger Things, The IT Crowd, and many more. Now we're about to be blessed with a live-action film featuring a stellar cast, but most importantly with some of the best creatures from the game itself. The trailer for Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves just dropped, and everyone is going crazy about the large scale of production paired with some incredible CGI that has made these creatures look even scarier and lifelike. If you're aware of this game, some of these names might sound familiar, but if you haven't played it before, we're here to guide you through every monster that appeared in the trailer and a little bit about them to prepare you for the film's release. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin.
Bench.
Black Dragon. As shown in the new Dungeons & Dragons trailer, the Black Dragon is capable of great destruction and causing immeasurable havoc in a short time. These are evil chromatic dragons that are often referred to as skull dragons because of their structure, and swamp dragons, which we'll explain in a minute. There's no doubt that these dragons are the most malicious chromatic dragons, and very few other dragons share the cruelty of a black dragon, and the trailer has proven that beyond doubt already. What makes these dragons so malicious is that they don't just hunt to protect and survive, but also enjoy it. Violence brings them tremendous satisfaction. However, this might come as a shock, but black dragons are also some of the most cowardly creatures alive. As quick as they are to engage in combat, the quicker they'll retreat when they realize that their opponent might be more robust than they had expected. Black dragons prefer to fight in the water, particularly in swamps or bogs, as the water gives them an advantage in combat, although they loathe salt water. Compared to other dragons, black dragons are slender but possess forward-jutting horns that look incredibly fearsome but don't serve much use. Nonetheless, these dragons are still ones to look out for. Owlbear. As the name suggests, this creature is a cross between an owl and a bear, and despite being one of the cutest looking monsters in the Dungeons & Dragons game, and also in the trailer, this creature is as monstrous as they come. It has the physique of a bear and the face of an owl, which includes the beak, and gives it the undue advantage of being able to attack with features from both these animals, making it all the more fierce and violent. A fully grown male owlbear towers at 8 feet tall and weighs close to 700 kilos, which again plays to its advantage. These creatures are best known for their foul temper, are incredibly aggressive, and are probably the best example of the saying that looks can often be deceiving. An owlbear doesn't need to be provoked to kill. All one needs do is move and they'd immediately become a target of this creature. That's just how alert owlbears can be, and we catch a glimpse of this in the trailer too. One of the ways an owlbear tracks its prey is by using its heightened sense of smell, and it usually declares its territory by screeching or hooting. They're also very competent in battle. When an owlbear is wounded, they screech so loudly that it distracts the opponent, which the owlbear uses to its advantage. These creatures would be a fun addition to the film, giving the others a good run for their money. White Dragon, or the Stone Golem. The trailer reveals a stone golem of a dragon, which is essentially a magical statue cut and chiseled from stone. However, later it is shown that this statue comes to life as a roaring white dragon, which could be because of the magical spell cast on it. Best to look out for this chromatic dragon, who might have a reputation for being dull and stupid, but they're just as intelligent as the other dragons, although they rely more on instinct than their intellect. What separates white dragons from the other chromatic dragons is that they care little about political power, aim to live their lives as collectors of treasure, and only wish to keep themselves fed and live a comfortable life. Because these creatures are also called snow dragons, they tend to blend in with the snow, camouflaging them and making them incredibly hard to spot. Unlike the black dragons, white dragons are far from cruel, as they tend to mind their own business, which is probably why they often get labelled as dull. However, their role in the film is still unknown, and we might see a different side to them. As for stone golems, if the concept of statues coming to life excites you, it might be fun to check out the TV series Gargoyles, as it features nocturnal creatures that turn to stone during the day. Mimic. The shapeshifters of this universe are the perfect creature for an on-screen adaptation, given that they can mimic any object, as their name suggests. Mimics typically occupy a volume of 15 cubic feet and can take any shape as long as they hold that same volume. Their best strategy typically involves taking the shape of day-to-day objects most likely to be touched by someone. So, mimics can become doors, chairs, tables, and other household items, and their skin color and texture also adapt to the object they're morphing into. Their main aim is to survive and acquire food, and while some mimics are capable of essential communication, the fact remains that they have no culture or moral code whatsoever. They simply exist. Mimics usually attack their victims by being completely still, and they then use an adhesive secretion to trap them, which also restrains the movement of their victims. Although the adhesive can be countered by applying alcohol over it, and it's wholly diffused after the mimic dies. These creatures also have several subspecies divided into two groups, the common mimic and the killer mimic. It's uncertain which of these we'll see in the film, but their shape-shifting abilities will surely make for some interesting subplots. Displacer Beast. The Displacer Beast, also known as the Durlegrown or Omlacat, is also as evil as they come. Its signature trait is a continuous displacement effect, which makes it appear to be a few feet away from its actual location, which makes them incredibly difficult to attack, and it even confuses creature with the ability to see invisible objects. They're best known for being masters of the hunt, often using their deadly claws and bites to attack their victims and harm them terribly. Weighing in at about 500 pounds, the Displacer Beast has 6 legs and 2 tentacles which it uses to kill its prey. Their eyes glow green even after death, and their fur is usually blue-black. These 9-foot-long beasts kill not only for food, but also for pleasure and sport. It toys with its prey, torturing it until it's ready to eat. Defenses against the displacement effect include the True Seeing spell and the Illusion Bane weapon. Displacer beasts would make a gory addition to the film with their lairs covered in blood and rotting flesh. They often live and hunt in small packs, so a small battle against them would be almost impossible to win.
We'll be ready.
Red Dragon. If you haven't yet seen the trailer, we'd recommend watching it just for this deadly beast that appears in it. If there's one dragon who can be on par with the Black Dragon while also being one of the most important creatures in the legacy of Dungeons & Dragons, it's the Red Dragon. These dragons, apart from being completely ruthless, are only interested in their well-being and vanity, even if that means killing anything and everything that comes their way. The red dragons are the most potent and enormous amongst all chromatic dragons. They revel in death and destruction and breathe fire. If that doesn't make them the most dangerous, I don't know what does. They even smell of smoke and sulfur. Red dragons are often known as ruthless overhunters, which usually means that when they hunt, the population of their prey will diminish rapidly. These dragons have very extreme beliefs, most of which even reflect on their own kind. They hate any sign of weakness among the red dragons and go by the notion that if a red dragon cannot protect what it has, it doesn't deserve it. It would be thrilling to see these beasts in the live-action film, as it would certainly up the ante and make survival of all the characters very uncertain. Giant Wolf Spider. Although this one makes a very brief appearance in the trailer, it's pretty evident that this isn't just a spider or giant bug. It is in fact a giant wolf spider that we see, and it opens plenty of options for threats that might happen in the movie. These creatures are incredibly agile and can climb all sorts of surfaces, regardless of whether they're crooked or just difficult, while also being able to hang upside down and travel easily using their webbing. It sounds like the Spider-Man of the D&D universe. While wolf spiders might be a little less intense than giant spiders, they're comparatively more robust and intelligent, giving them an upper hand in several situations. Wolf spiders also have great speed, unmatchable eyesight, and a basic sense of smell, all of which help them stalk their prey easily, and they're great at surprising their enemies. Their bite is poisonous, hence they mostly rely on that to take down their opponent and paralyze them for at least an hour if the poison stays in their system. These spiders can be found in deserts, hills, and forests, and it's only a matter of time before we discover who these wolf spiders are about to paralyze. Gelatinous Cube. The Gelatinous Cube has been a part of the Dungeons & Dragons game since one of its earliest incarnations, and is just transparent ooze composed of mindless gelatinous matter. Still, seeing the thieves struggle with this cube will be interesting. Usually, a gelatinous cube measures about 10 to 15 feet and weighs nearly 25,000 kilos, which is pretty huge if you do the math. This creature is totally transparent, although a hint of light on its surface usually gives away its position. Considering how big these creatures can be, it's helpful that they are also moldable, which allows them to flow around objects and through narrow passages. When this cube faces an opponent, it often slams against them and engulfs it with an acidic pseudopod, and although creatures can escape this entrapment, it certainly isn't easy. These cubes may be slow, but they can easily knock over large animals with almost no effort. You'd think these cubes might be immune to attacks, however they're some of the most vulnerable creatures, but there have been reports of them being resistant to electricity. Maybe we'll see some of that in the upcoming film. There's no doubt that this film will bring several groups of fans together. People who like science fiction, along with those who play Dungeons and Dragons, anyone who is merely interested in creatures and monsters, and of course, everyone who loves Chris Pine and Regé-Jean Page. The trailer has given us a little glimpse of the madness about to make its way to the big screen, and the fans simply can't wait to see which of their favourite monsters might appear in this film. Well, that's all for now. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
We'll be ready.